Alright, this is the Princess versus Zombie. I'm going to show you how to set up without the game board, because sometimes people might buy it online, they don't have a game board. I'll just show you the general gist of how to play the game. And so this is the equipment cards. Everyone starts with one equipment card, and it's called the store. Where you get them from is the store. And then when you use an equipment card, in the equipment card discard would be the junk pile. So for terminology, that's what that is. Your army pile is the cards that you're playing from. Your discard pile would be the POW camp. So you think of it as like you lose a war, or you're taking their cards. And your deck is considered your POW and your army pile together. So that's the terminology. But basically, this game is based off of the card game War, and it came from my love for that game. But I wanted to, fix a couple things. One being that there's not a lot of strategy, and just whoever got dealt the right cards, it'll just kind of auto play. Eventually, you're going to lose. And the other thing is the game went on forever. So I've kind of made it so the game is shorter and it's a lot more fun, and it's a little extreme. So the game is kind of made to, you to use interesting ways to try and break the game and to push the limits. And it's more about the fun and the journey than trying to make it a, big competitive game that has very rigid rules. Now, so basically each person would get 13 cards. So let me just deal those out. And then the rest of the cards is going to be on the is a communal deck. You just kind of put them around like this. And this is called the tax pile, because when it runs out, it's then tax time, and everyone will have to, the person with more cards has to pay more to the tax pile. And this is called the recruitment slots. So basically, this is an equalizer. So if someone has all the aces, they can't just win the game eventually. So every time you have a war, your third card is going to be played from here. So I'll get into that in a second. But basically, everybody starts with one of these equipment cards. They can be used as long as it's not the first round. So you look at it, this is recycle. I could take a card out of the POW camp if I wanted to, but I'm going to use it face down. So basically, we would flip over cards. And that's the one was flipped like this, so that's a 2. So that means I would win it. This goes into my POW camp. Flip over another one. All right, that's a war. So just like regular war games, you put 3 down. But instead of doing like the 4th one from your stack of cards, which is your army pile, let me just do this other side. Each player grabs one from here and flips over. So that's a 6. And then this player would do an 8. So this player would win, and they would get all these cards, and they would get another equipment card that they could use at any time. So the more equipment cards kind of give you an advantage to win the game faster. Now, here's a rule I play with. You could choose to do it or not. I play with if you're caught cheating, you call someone out, you point at them, you say you're a cheater, and you have to pay a card. Such as, and one thing is cheating is you have to, when you use one of these, you have to refill it and do a little maintenance. So if that player did not put the card there, you say, hey, you're a cheater. So then he would have to pay a card to the tax pile and then have to replay it. So we like to play that rule. It's fun, but it's kind of up to you. And so first person to get rid of all the cards loses the game. And you just keep playing, and that's basically how it is. So you win wars. If it's a double war, sometimes you'll get a war and then another war card, and it keeps going. For each war, you get another one of these. So it could be, if it's a triple war, you get 3 of these, whoever wins. All right, now we're going to talk about the equipment cards in the Princess versus Zombies deck. There are 3 kinds of cards. There's the top row. That is the continuous use cards. They are used for, they last more than a round, and they have lasting effects. Like, I'm sorry, every time that you lose, someone has to say that they're sorry to you. Down with the king is that you basically get a king when someone plays it. Opposites day, low card wins. The power suit is that whatever suit you started with, or if you didn't start with one, you're playing that role, you just pick a suit. And so anytime that suit comes up, like, and this would be either the princess or zombies, then it gets a +1 ranking to that card. So if you put a 3, it's technically a 4. VIP pass is like you get you don't have to, you put down 1 less card for every war, and so on. Now these are also the one-time use. You use them once and then that's it. They go into the junk pile. All equipment cards go into the junk pile, which is their discard pile basically. And there is the third kind, which every deck has one of these, must use now. If you get it, you have to play it right when it comes up, and it's typically bad. This one gets rid of all your equipment cards. Now, the rule with equipment cards is that you can't play them on the first round, and every time you win a war, you get one. If you do a double war, you get 2 of them, or 3, and so on and so forth. So this is what makes the, these are the game changers that make the game go a lot faster. So those are the ones that come in the Princess versus Zombies. Every other set has 15 unique cards, and they can be all played together. Okay, now I'm going to go over the Princess suit. This is going to go from the highest ranking in the suit to the lowest. And so the highest one we have is Clap Your Hands. That is a speed card, rank of 18. You can tell by the little number on the right-hand side. And so first person to clap their hands would win that card. Next is the war card in the Princess suit is war left, war right. So whatever's on the top, that's where you're going to have to, like all double cards, whatever's facing you on the top, that's what counts. So if we flipped it this other way, that would be war to the right, and that would be war to the left. However you flip it, it's got a rank of 17. It's basically matching whatever card it's up against, as long as it's a lower rank. Now, if you're only playing 2 players, it's just a regular war. You put 3 down, just like everything else. Because even if the person's to your left and you war to the right, eventually they'll go all the way around the world, and then you'll war with them. But it's mainly, all the different kinds of war cards are really designed for, if you're playing in a, 3 to 8 person game and you want to know who you're going to war against. All right, then we have, this is the Ace 2, where if you, same like the war card, if you flipped it the other way, like this, it would be a 2, but like that, it's an ace. Then we have the King, it's a unicorn king, and then we have the Princess, of course. You don't have a queen, you have a princess. And so her rank is 11.5. So still lower than a king and lower than a queen, but higher than the jack. This is the only one that has a jack. And so the jack card is you could steal a lower ranking card and use it instead of this one. So it's basically any card if it's lower in play, right? So if there was a 5, say you're playing against someone, they put down a 5, you would just take their 5, and that would be your ranking, and they would have to flip over another card, and that next card would be the one that they use, right? Because you basically just jack their card. All right, then you have a 10 and a 9. This is a double card. When it looks like that, it's a 9. When it looks like this, it's a 6. But so then we have a 9. Then there's the big 8, 7, another 9, 6. But like that, it looks like a 6, 5, 4, 3, and an Ace 2. And so, fun fact, the Princess has a lot of 4s. You may not know that, but each suit has different amount of cards to balance them up against the other cards which they have. So that's the Princess one. All right, and this is the Zombie deck, which I'm going to go over these cards based on their ranking. So the top ranking in the Zombie is the Rise Up. First person to stand wins. Speed card. Next is the War All war card. Now this wars everybody. So if it's just 2 players, it's just a regular war card. But if there's 8 people, all 8 people will war against each other. This is Ace 2 double card. Flip it the other way with the 2 on top, it would be a 2. But like this, it's an ace. There's the King, the Queen, has a 10. It's a 9, 6. Like that, it's a 9. 8, 7, and that's a 9, 6, but like this, it counts as a 6, 5, 4, 3, and I guess it's supposed to be a 2 there. So I put that there, so ranking is 2. Now Ace 2, And the zombie deck has a lose card. It's the lowest ranking in the game. Yeah, it's the lose. Now it is a rank as a 1, so even if someone does a war, you can war with the lose card. But it's just a low card. Anyways, that's the zombie deck. Here we go.
Don't look at cards.
Don't look at your cards. We play a rule where if you're caught cheating, you have to pay 1 card as a penalty. Okay? It doesn't mean that you get to get away with cheating, but it's just, that's the rules. Alright. Round 1. War all. That means you war with any card. It acts as the same card. 1, 2, 3 down. And then you pull from the recruitment slot any one of these to act as your final war card. Clap. Ooh. Looks like Mark got it. Oh my god. Every time you win a war, you get a war card. Equipment card. Alright. It's another one. He's laughing. I don't know why.
I'm going to play this card. It's the I'm sorry card. I can play it at any time. When it's in play, every time you lose a round, the winner must apologize to you. If a player does not say I'm sorry while this card is in play, you must give me 1 card.
I'm sorry is in play. That's a continuous use. It doesn't go away. It just stays there forever. Someone's cheating.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's tax time.
Tax time.
Oh.
Alright, this card shows that it is tax time. And this is how many cards the player with the most cards has to pay back to the community pile. So this one, he has to pay 2 cards because he has 21. And if you play with other decks, you won't have to have tax time as much because you'll have more cards to draw from. So also, if you got the big deck, it comes with cards that go directly into the tax pile. Anyways, alright. So, you paid tax time and you continue on. Here we go. 10 beats a 4.
I'm sorry.
Good. Good.
I'm sorry. I'm also sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, when you run out of cards, you take your what's called your POW camp. It's where all your discard pile is, and you shuffle it, and you have to ask someone a question to make sure that you're not cheating.
Do you trust me?
Ah.
If he doesn't trust you, you get to rotate it. Since there's double cards, you want to make sure that people don't stack their deck. And so there you go.
Thank you.
All right, the game continues. Here we go.
Haha! War!
What is? Take a second.
It's gonna take a second.
Do you trust me?
Oh, Lord, no. Give me that. There you go.
Thank you.
Fail. You're cheating.
But
He paid for cheating. Good job. All right. 3 down, and
Oh, God.
Princess wins.
sorry.
Oh.
Put in war.
Oh no. No, that's not good.
Bankrupt.
Oh, bankrupt.
Must use now. That's not a good card.
Bankrupt. Discard all equipment cards from your hand into the equipment junk pile. I suppose that includes the bankrupt card.
Yeah.
There's your bankrupt. Lost it all, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's traditional war. Both have the same value. 3 down.
Do you trust me?
Yeah. This time I trust you. Oh,
Oh, double war. Triple war.
Oh my god, triple war! Hang on. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Oh my
Quadruple war.
Okay, this is game ender for me. If I lose this, I lose everything.
Oh my.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set. Go.
Oh, he won.
Ah!
Since I was a quadruple war, you get 4 equipment cards.
But I lose.
You lost. There
I'm
we
out.
go.
That's it.
Good
Game
job.
over, man.
I'm sorry. Oh man.
And that's Princess versus Zombies.